Hi everyone, it's Yelena from The Healing Light, www.healinglight.com.au, NLIT for the light. Today I wanted to give you a tip. What I always say this is how we as the parents behave. This is how we teach our children. Even with actions, even with our energy. So if we don't feel confident, if we are a parent who is needy, we're going to create a needy children. They will then go into the relationships where they're going to be codependent relationships, or they will feel needed. They will have to fill up that void. And the same thing goes for the food. So I'm talking about the emotional part, the spiritual part, and then I'm talking about the food part of it. I truly believe is when a parent comes up and say to me, Yelena, it's really hard, it's really difficult, to feed the children with a healthy food, with a healthy snacks. As a mother, I'm the parent. I'm the one who is in charge of the pantry. And my children now, my son is in the army, so it's a bit different. So he doesn't live with me. He's in the army full time. And my daughter is 15, so she's with me full time. What I buy as a mother, that's what it's for the food. Obviously, I can't control what's in the school, and in school grounds what she's eating over there. But if I establish a good foundations for her, she's going to know that this food, and from the Mother Nature, as I spoke on a podcast recently with Luke, I said I was raised not to eat out of the packets. In my country, we didn't have back then food out of the packets. So we would go to the markets, or we would go to the garden, pick up our veggies. We had everything available as a raw products. We didn't have it in a packet, so we didn't buy much of a biscuits kind of things like that from the shops. Because our parents didn't, and our country didn't have it. A very different scenario. But I live in Australia, in Sydney, with 2 children. I don't buy them too much of those things. First of all, whatever comes out of the packet would have to have preservatives, would have to have a colouring, would have to have some kind of a chemical stuff being put in there. So if you want to have a biscuits or things like that, make a day where you're going to actually make them yourself from scratch and have fun with your kids while you're doing it. And you're teaching them, you're passing, maybe a biscuits from your country, maybe something else. And you're spending time with them and you're teaching them, this is what family matters, this is the quality of life, and this is how we're actually doing things together. So I would have said to you, spend some time with your children. So fussy eaters or anything like that, I would say to be consistent with healthy food. If they don't have got that food in a fridge or in a pantry, they're not going to know about it because you didn't bought it in the first place. And if they see it in the shops or anything like that, just say it's not healthy for your stomach to eat this. Other children eat it. Well, you just have to stick to your beliefs, what you believe. Just like some people are vegetarian and they don't eat meat or they don't eat eggs, So this is the same thing. And I would like you just to stick to your consistency. Stick to the things what you believe into it. I do believe that eating mostly from the nature, how it comes, like fruit, vegetables, just eat them like that rather than giving a children a packet food or cereals which were going to be full of colors and the sugars to feed them up, rather than making something like an omelette. And if you want to add on to the meat, I'm not against any kind of a diet, but I prefer to have got things from the nature and to have that, less is more, a policy of it, of the processed stuff. Just like a soft drinks. When something is coming out of the factory and it's a non-fact, they're so full of sugar and they're so full of coloring, I don't buy the soft drinks for my two teenagers kids. So I would really like to ask you as a parent is that you look at what you're buying, and your bill, the grocery bill, will be less if you're actually buying less of this packaged food, and make it up very simple. Once or twice a week you can get a Tupperware containers and make a carrot sticks at home. And even now in Woolies, if you get stuck with the time, they've got carrot sticks in the bags, so that's even saving you time if you want to. It's a bit more expensive, but you can actually do it. Carrot sticks, celery sticks, cucumber sticks, they're all different kind of options. Beans, snow peas. I was always packing things like that for my children for the school while they were going to the school, and now Lara is in a high school, so it's a bit different options what she's taking to the school. So as a parent, we are a huge role model, and I wanted that we feed their bodies and your body with a healthy food, that you have got that glow within yourself. And if you're having some issues, like let's go say, a sore bones, fibromyalgia, things like that, is it too much of the coffees and all sorts of toxins what you're processing in your body? Are you prepared to go on a cleansing, I don't want to call it diet, but changes? And the same thing goes for the spiritual mind body. Are you prepared to actually go into the cleansing detox? So which means is, when we start off the morning, if everyone is grumpy in the morning, I want that in the morning, put some nice music on, or it's relaxing or it's uplifting. That everyone starts a day, because how we start the day in the morning is so important. The day we're going to be turning into that kind of a day. So as a parent, teach your children that little steps of it. Come on, darling, change your day, how you feeling. I'm just tired, I don't want to go to school. I mean, I've been there, had my kids so many times. I don't want to go to school today, I just don't feel like for it. This is Australia, mind you, so they go, it's raining today, do I have to go to school? Mind you, you're driving them to school. Be persistent and consistent with it, and say to them is, bright up, smile, you're going to school for the good reasons. Mommy or daddy has to go to work. We all have to do things we'll have to do on everyday basis, which is basically school. You're going there for learning, just spending time with your friends, playmates, and make it fun. Because if you're going to work, for example, and you are unhappy, they see that as a chore. Guess what? They hate going to the school too, because they see it as a pain. Because a parent is going to something which is a pain too. And work. So I really want you to think about it. How you're behaving, how your energy is. That's how your children are picking it up. And as a family, when I have got a whole family working together and I've got a happy home sessions, I always say to them this, number one rule is, we're the team. You're working as a team. Even if it's a single parent, it's a parent and a children. If we have two parents, then we've got a team. We all work as a team. And I know you could be coming home tired. But if we clearly communicate, and one parent has to pull a little bit more extra today because the other one had a really difficult day, and we work like that together. So I wonder, we have got some affirmations for you. So we're the team member, help each other. And if we do things together, we can all actually rest up together and have a family time. Not that it's just like one is doing one, it's very solitude environment. And I wanted that we actually think about it as a household, like in olden times it was family together. As much as this is a modern society and we're all like, each child is in each of their bedroom, at least here in Australia, so that we have got a communal room, is the dining room, that we actually spend time together, eating meals together, communicating without the phones, the iPads, only electronics at the table. I do not allow that at my table. Why? Because I want to communicate with my children and I want them to have got a communication skills and talk to me, especially when they become teenagers, when their communication is very much you know, and it's just like checking up the fridge, what's in the fridge, and there is never ever any food in the fridge according to them. And I'm sure all the other teenagers' parents would have agreed with me, because that's what they hear their teenagers' kids. So breathe through that time of a teenager's years. Bearing with the small children, absolutely adore them and love them, because by the time they become a teenagers, it's a bit more challenging time. And as my mother would say to me, a smaller child, smaller worry. A bigger child, a bigger worry. Enjoy them, hug them. Before you know it, you're gonna have a child like I do, a 19 years old child and a 15 years old child. So I still sometimes look at myself and I go like, I can't believe it that I have got this child, or that I'm in my 40s. So I want you really to absorb what you're doing with the energy, with the spiritual thoughts. And that energy has to vibrate from your heart. When you're actually honoring yourself, when you're actually glowing within yourself, from you. Like, I work and I created the programs which I call Authentic You and Irresistible You. And I absolutely believe when you're connecting to your heart, and in that heart of yours, including my one too, there's scars, the traumas, what we've been through. And some of you know some of my stories, what I've been through it. If you stop being ashamed of it and you actually grab that story and hold it and look at it and we work through it. Why did that particular story happen to you? And you're not ashamed of it. You actually embody that trauma inside of you, and you understand it, and you work through your heart, not through your brain and a logical pattern inside of it. You're going to actually start glowing. You really will. So when I individually work with you, I tune into your scars and patterns which you have got. When did they start, and why did they start, and what did it happen, and what did they create now for you? And rising you up and having that awareness of them. We cannot delete them. It doesn't exist. I can't just go and, flick my fingers and just delete them. That doesn't exist. Because if something like that happens, and let's go say something happens for you in the future, at least like this, you're going to be aware of it, and you'll say, oh, what did Jelena said for this? Maybe I have to come and see her again a little bit more to top it up my sessions. So you will understand it, and I want you to actually have full understanding of it and what to do with it. That you start living your life, and then you start enjoying your life, and then you are actually counting every day a blessings, because each one of us has a story. Each one of us has got internal war. Each one of us has got the thoughts where they come in and they're not as positive. And what do I usually say is then regroup, refocus, have a look why they're coming in. So if you want to make a changes in your life and you're going in a constant circles and nothing is changing, and you're just over the issues what you have got inside of yourself, and you're just over the thoughts that nothing is moving, and you need that boost, you need that lift, you need to transform the lives. And that's why I say we are transforming you to the best version of you. And that best version of you is not my version, it's your version. We work together with consistency, and that's why when I have got the sessions and the programs are basically made out of the 5 sessions is the minimum, and then the 10 is the optimum ones, and then there is 20, and there is absolutely a bigger options of the sessions depending on the problems and situation what you have got. If we have a bigger problems, obviously we need more time. But if you're not sure what should you do, what you should not do, which options to take it on board, please message me and let's go help you to be the best version of yourself. For yourself to be the best possible version, human being, living a life to the full potential, to full growth and energy and life and radiance which you have got within yourself. Love and light.